Alright, here's this fun thing. So, establishing the count, just to refresh, we have 1 and 4. 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3, 4, and done. So, fingering. This is what we have, nice and slow. Okay, so make sure you got the rhythm okay, make sure you got your fingering okay, and then begin piecing it all together. So, I think you're basically doing what you should do when it's really difficult. You're just kind of doing like piece by piece. So, what would be good? Yeah, working on. It's kind of hard to work on like a bar at a time to do it exactly like it's performed, because crossing into some bars we have a hammer on happening, and instead of hammering on from nothing, you might just want to pick it. So like, you got the first bar, it went well, you did that, doing the so what you could do, if you need to work on the second bar on its own, I would recommend doing it like this, like starting where you're picking, instead of like starting in the hammer on from nothing part. Like if you started here and you played it exactly how it's supposed to go, you'd be hammering on from nothing. So that's why I'm recommending starting here and working on this chunk. Even going as far as this to this, that might be a good thing too. So then you're starting on the 4. And then, as far as working on the next part, yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. I would recommend doing this as another chunk to work on. Basically, like kind of like piecing the start and end of different legato things together. So I think this would be a good chunk to work on by itself too. Just remember, you're going to be coming in on the upbeat though. So you have your 1, 2, and right. So you have like all those ups because you're coming in on the upbeat of 2, upbeat of 3, and upbeat of 4 there. 2 and this is just if you need to. I'm just making suggestions as to how you can work on different chunks of this to help make it easier to digest it all. And then this, working on this at the end, also coming in on the upbeat. So you got your 1 and done. Okay, so, but you can break it into as many pieces as you want, group it together in any chunk that feels good to you. So let's go through the whole thing now. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or at least sweep the ending of that. Just do like an up. That would be fine, especially since we're doing so much legato here. Kind of calls for a little bit of sweep at the end. All right, here's 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 40. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is definitely a kind of pattern that committing it to your subconscious will be very helpful. It's a lot of stuff to think about going fast. So if you end up thinking, good Lord, this is a lot to think about, yes, it definitely is. I don't know if I'm going to get to 240 on this. I've never done something like this at 240. So we get to find out together what's going to happen. Here's 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am tapping my foot with a metronome this fast, because if I wasn't, it would really throw me off. Because I've been tapping my foot on all those other speeds, so I'm getting used to putting my fingers down in between those foot taps and on the different foot taps and whatnot. So doing it the same way, even if it's really fast, I do find much more helpful than abandoning the foot tap. It's a fast one, yes, but in terms of making this thing easier to play, I find it very helpful. Let's try 220. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, that was bad. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Like I said, I don't play things this fast. You're a special case. You're a special student because nobody has been able to do things like this at 8th notes. At 16th notes a bit more, but anyway. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! There we go. Good Lordy Lord. Number 2. So I made this one a bit easier on purpose. Felt it's more riffy and just a little bit more fun to play, perhaps. So you're always going between 8 quarter, 8 quarter, 8 quarter. So it's like da 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 da. So at 60, the count would be 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 4 straight 8th notes. So it does that for both lines. And yes, you only pick this note out of all that. Same thing here, you pick the A string, but none of that. Obviously you do some picking over here, the last note, but yeah, for those 3 bars, just that one pick. 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I'm second guessing myself here. 1 and 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3. That was a nice pinch harmonic. Alright, I think I'm going to jump to 120 since this is a bit more straight ahead than the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. These new strings are nice for pinch harmonics. Alright, let's see if I can hit 160. I think the hard part for me is trying to remember this thing that I wrote just earlier today. Mainly the, you know, and the, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really like these new strings for pinch harmonics. Alright, let's try 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, blew it. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 240, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it cleaner. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, that is a pain in the butt. Try again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness! This is what happens when you don't practice properly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Alright, one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Enough of that. So I'm leaving these mistakes in here so you can see that it is not an easy thing. These do have difficulties. So if you run into struggles, you definitely know why. At least I hope you know why. Understand that it's going to be difficult for damn near anybody. So working this guy up, just see where you can get. Definitely spend the whole week. Track how fast you get. Go up in increments of 5. Increments of 5. I almost dropped my pick. So every time you get it right, go up by 5. Always start at 60 every day because we're basically treating this just like a speed drill. And let's demo some different speeds. 60 beats per minute, of course. Counting along with this one, because it's straight 16th notes, not a big deal. No need to do that. You're going to run out of breath too. But when we get into more rhythmic things, yes, counting along with it at the slower speeds will be important. But for right now, because it's straight 16ths, not a big deal. Just make sure you're tapping your foot every metronome click, getting those 4 strums in every metronome click. Here we go, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, double time, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's go to 140 first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. On 60, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So about this pace, I've gone from having my hand floating up here like this to anchoring it. So as I get going really fast, I anchor this part of my hand on the body of the guitar. That allows me to go into those kind of speeds there. So listen to what your arm, your hand, your wrist, listen to what they want to do. If they want to try and go into a different position to be able to push the speed, let it happen. You will have slightly different picking mechanics occur going between slow, medium, and fast speeds for you. Allow your body to do what it wants to do to hit those speeds. Eventually you'll be getting better at blending, going from various speeds and switching between the different picking mechanics and technique, okay? So where you end up switching, like say the more floaty type stuff to the anchored, it's going to be different for everybody. Some people never do the anchor thing, but to get as fast as you possibly can, yes, anchoring and being able to do that sort of thing is important. I've mentioned this because sometimes people will attempt to force themselves to stay in a specific position instead of allowing themselves to adapt to higher speeds. And as far as what some people ask, like, well, shouldn't I be always using that specific technique even when playing slow? The answer is no, because when you walk, it's a different kind of technique versus jogging and versus sprinting. So your body will do little different things depending on going slow versus fast, and the same thing applies to picking. So part of starting slow and working up fast is making sure that you can accurately hear the rhythm for all that stuff, as well as getting practice blending the slow to the medium to the fast speeds. So we don't want to just start at a fast speed and try and get it there. We do want to work up slow to the medium to the fast, again, to make sure you can accurately hear playing 4 strums evenly per click. So a lot of this is really building kick-ass rhythm skills so you can hear everything, because a big thing that prevents people from going faster is the inability to hear things accurately at fast speeds. So that's part of the training for this. So even if 60 seems really easy, we still want to start with that, because I promise you it's beneficial getting that rhythm solid. I do it for all my stuff. I do it too. I promise you. I got live streams of it. I don't know if we've done 160 yet, but let's do it now. We did do it. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more at 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you keep tapping that foot along with it as well. It really, really helps you lock into the rhythm when you're able to tap your foot, even at the fast tempos. As far as demonstrating this guy, what would be good is do a go up by 20s demonstration. So let's say 200 is your max speed. Instead of trying to hit 200 on the max or for the top speed in your video demo, aim for like 20 beats per minute slower. Well, let's say 190 is the top speed. So this is what I would suggest doing. So start at 60 for the demo, just so I can hear, make sure that rhythm sounds really precise. Here, and if there's anything to point out, I'll have a better chance of doing so when I can hear it at the slow pace. So anyway, so again, for example, let's say 190 is what you max out on. So for the video demo, the day before the lesson or the day of the lesson, I want you to play it at 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 170. You see, so it's still 20 beats per minute slower than your max. So typically, people can play 20 beats per minute slower than what they max out on. I don't expect you to do your max speed unless you've been fully warmed up. So If you can fully warm up for it, fantastic. Go ahead and do the absolute max that you've hit. But if you're not fully warmed up for it, then don't worry about doing that. That's fine. But definitely, let me know how fast you do get. And if any questions come up, let me know. And I'll see you in some videos soon.